Check. Check 1, 2. It should work now because that's going green.
Morning, everybody. Can you hear the sound now?
Okay, we're going to start again, chefs, because of the sound technical.
So you're going to start with yours.
So welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Kasturi from Unilever Food Solutions, which is one of the, sorry chefs, we got flustered with the sound technical. Which is a business built by chefs. So we know what you face every day in the kitchen. Everything we do is focused on making your life a bit easier. Our presenter today is the Culinary Chef Experience Advisor of Unilever Food Solutions KZN, Chef Mary Worthington. Today, she will highlight guidelines to upskill your front of house staff so that you can upsell for profit. Now, without any further ado, we'll turn our time over to Chef Mary.
So, morning, everybody. Sorry about that technical problem, but hopefully we're back on track again. Welcome to today's webinar and welcome to Upsell for Profit, Guides on Great Customer Service. So we know that to give customers good service is key to running a successful establishment. So today what I'm going to do is merely give you some guidelines and help you to train your front of house staff. All right, so let's go over to the agenda. Okay, so thank you for that welcome, Kasturi. I've broken it down into sort of 5 simple steps to follow. So it's about staff training and your front of house staff and how they think, act, and look. And then I've broken it down into a checklist and what makes you successful, make your customers smile, and informing your customers of what you have in your layout. And then end with a smile. I will touch on Ufs Academy, which is our online training tool, Fair Kitchens, which is our support to chefs and hospitality staff. And then if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I'll also run a very short poll and then close. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so success starts with me, and me being your front of house staff. Success depends on how you think, act, and look. So really, when you come to work and your waiters, waitrons, your service staff come to work, it's about coming to work with the right attitude. Being confident, being positive, thinking calm and happy thoughts. Learn to act happy however you feel. And this is very, very important because when you may be coming to work, you don't know what's happened along the way. Perhaps you've had a delay, or like we've had a technical issue today, so we're all a bit stressed. We didn't have any sound, but we have to put that out of our minds, be positive, and we are now at work. We're here to serve customers. Without customers, we have no business. So we have to put away those things and focus on what we have to do. So in terms of act, key areas to pay attention in, presence, presence, don't rush your customers, listen like you mean it, give the customers full attention, confirm that your customers, sorry about that, confirm that you have understood your customer's request. Very, very important. What are they? And attention to detail. Pre-bookings, special occasions. What are the requirements? Is there a birthday celebration? Treat them, make them feel special. What can you do for them? What is your standard practice in your establishment? And then look. So look is all about you yourself and how you feel and how you present yourself. So very nice to draw up a little checklist. Obviously, we know that with COVID, we still have to wear masks when we are serving and indoors. Regular hand wash, clean aprons, correct and clean uniforms, closed shoes, no jewelry, clean nails, and a name badge. So often I go to an establishment, and sometimes I really battle to identify actually who are the serving staff there, because they do not stand out. And that is first impressions that count, and really, really important. So that should be a daily check. And even, you know, with being well groomed and your hair tied back if you're a lady, it all just gives good first impressions. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Make your customer smile. Make your customer feel special. The most important person in your business is the customer. So I've broken it down into 7 very simple steps to build good relations and turn new customers into regulars. And the first one is to make eye contact and smile. It shows that you are interested. Greet and welcome your customers. Step forward and let them know that you're ready to serve them. How often do you walk into an establishment and there's staff standing around, but they all just ignore you? You're looking for a place, you're looking for a table to sit at, you're looking for you don't know whether you should be going in or just sitting down or waiting. So step forward and let them know that you're ready to serve. Be quick to solve customer problems. Mistakes do happen. How you deal with them is important. Keep your body language positive. Look sharp and look ready to serve your customer. Make coming to your restaurant, your hotel, your deli, special and memorable. So this customer service applies to any of your hospitality environments, whether it's a hotel, a restaurant, a deli. They'll all be adapted to suit that type of environment or establishment. Show you care by the way you listen and talk to your customers. Always be polite and use please and thank you. Those are very important words, and they go a long way to keeping that customer happy. And then how do we deal with a difficult customer? So I've got a little video clip which I'll show you just now, and we've got 3 chefs which we've interviewed, and they'll just tell you how they handle customers. So really the important thing is to stay calm and listen and understand what their problem is. Offer a solution. If you can't, don't stress. Find somebody who can help that customer, whether it's your front of house manager, or it's the owner, or somebody more senior. Let them take over and help that customer. Provide feedback to your manager. If you had a complaint, but you were able to deal with it, provide feedback to your manager, your owner, your deli manager, whoever you report to, so that they are aware. We know that these days with social media, bad news spreads very quickly, and people take to Facebook or Instagram or wherever and spread the bad news, and you don't want that to happen to your business. It's important that guests leave the restaurant feeling the problem was resolved, and that is very, very important, because you want them to come back again, even if there was a mistake. All right, so let's have a look at the video, and we can, thank you, Kasturi.
So the procedure of dealing with complaints is to call the front of house manager, and then it's taken from there. If we can assist, obviously you always want your customer to leave happy and satisfied.
Hopefully We don't get many, touch wood, but when we do, we want to make sure that we can rectify it in the restaurant and make sure that guest has only the best experience, even though we may have dropped the ball somewhere along the line or they're not happy with something. So protocol is waiter will approach manager, manager will then approach guest and find out what the issue is.
The manager's job is to diffuse and not add fuel to the scene. And at the end of the day, you want your customer to leave happy. Do what you need to do to make them happy. My motto is, if you can get 80% of your customers to be happy, you've done your job. You are never, ever gonna have a night where there's not a complaint. You are feeding people. Everyone's taste buds are different. The food they grew up with is different. Their expectations are different. Trying to meet everybody's expectations is impossible. It's really impossible. 80% of people are happy as a successful night.
I just never send anything out the kitchen if I'm not 100% happy with it. So if and when we get a complaint, it's a case of what is the complaint? What is the nature of the complaint? Is it reasonable? A lot of the time, you know, it is unreasonable. But it's just about how we handle that, you know, being as polite as we can.
It's of vital importance to me and to the restaurant as a whole that anybody that arrives here and doesn't have a great experience with regards to the food that they've received at the table or a service issue, that we deal with it in-house directly. We deal with it, we go approach the guest, we do whatever we can from a management perspective to deal with the problem while the guest is here. We need to rectify any issues in-house that the guest leaves here knowing that they've had the best possible experience that we got.
Okay. Next. Okay. All right. So I think the key message there is that you can never please every single customer that walks through the door, but if you can please 80% of the customer, or you can make them feel comfortable, or you can important that your guests feel that the problem was resolved so that they come back to you. All right, so we're going to move on to make your customers smile. And this is make your customers feel special, the most important person in the business. Inform your customers. It's easy to talk to the customer when you know how and what is on offer on the menu. All right, so first of all, we've got the menu boards. And it's important that you have a daily meeting with your back of house chef. What new dishes do you have? The chef specials. Communication is key here with your front of house staff. Menu knowledge. Know the names of your dishes. Find out how each dish is made and what are the key ingredients that go into the dish. Be able to explain the dish to your customer. These are all very important things because not everybody is a foodie. But they expect you as your front of house service staff to be a foodie and understand and know the makeup of that dish. Special boards, what are the dishes that you want to focus on? Do you know everything about the dish? How long does it take to prepare? You never know. You might find a customer is in and out, he's in a hurry. So don't go and focus on a dish that you know is going to take a long time. And you'll see that by their body language, whether they're in a hurry to quickly have a meal or they're there to relax and enjoy themselves. Combos, what are they? Are they family orientated, 2 meals and a glass of wine? Is it kids eat free? Know what is on offer for your customers. Maybe it's only on certain days. You have certain specials. Know which days they are so that you can speak to your customers and promote those. Upsell the menu. Customer has something extra that goes well with what they've chosen. It's important that you know and understand the common allergens in the dishes. For example, eggs, cow's milk, shellfish, fish, nuts, peanuts, soya beans, tree nuts, cereals like your wheat, your gluten, your rye, barley, oats. Get the chef to draw up a checklist for you so that you have a list that you can refer to that will help and guide you if a customer comes in and says they have an allergen or are allergic to an ingredient, so that you know what is in the dishes that you are serving. Different types of dietary requirements. These days we get so many different types. We've got vegetarians, flexitarians, pescatarians, lacto-vegetarians, vegans. What are they? If they're not marked on the menu, and these days quite a lot of the restaurants are putting little symbols on, so it's easier for the customer to identify. But if that is not the case, what are the dishes that they can have? Do you have that knowledge when a customer speaks to you and says, I'm a pescatarian? That means that they don't eat meat, but they do eat fish. So know that information. It just helps you to sell to a customer and to make that dining experience awesome. Collaborate with your back of house staff. What is on the menu? Ingredients. Is it locally sourced? Some fine dining restaurants do a lot of locally sourced ingredients. And that's nice to share with customers. Customers sometimes like to know, they like to chat a bit, and it's a nice talking point. They like to know where the food is being sourced from and where it is coming from. All right, so look after your layout. Customers eat with their eyes, so create a visual feast. And although this pertains to back of house, it's also important that your front of house service staff also know the dishes well and understand them. So maybe an idea is to draw up a checklist. And what is important is when you take that plate to your customer, before you take it, do a quick little check on the plate. Presentation of the dish. Is it served at the correct temperature? Is it supposed to be a cold dish, a hot dish? Is it hot? Are the plates clean? Sometimes you see a little finger mark or a little grubby patch. You need to wipe it off. Appropriate garnishes. Is there even a garnish on the plate? Does the guest have the correct utensils to eat with? If he's having perhaps a fish dish, is there a fish knife and fork there for the customer? If he's having soup, is there a soup spoon there? So those are all important things. You don't want to be asking for that teaspoon when you get a cup of coffee and you can't even stir your coffee. Very, very simple things, but they are all things that should be on your checklist. Correct condiments on the table, if there are any. Garnishes need to be edible and complement your dish. Season your chips or wedges can make a dish look great just by adding a dash of seasoning. Side dishes, sauces, condiments, e.g. dressings, are they all available? And if they're part of the meal, are they there served with the meal? Whether it's a little side dressing in a little container, or is it dressed over your salad? Is it there for the customer without them having to ask for it? Does the plate have on it, as per the menu descriptor? Sometimes the back of house staff are in a rush or in a hurry, and you need to visualize and mentally know what those plates look like in your mind so that you can do a quick little check. Does it have everything on the plate? Have they forgotten to put the lemon wedge on for the fish? Is it supposed to have 2 pieces of chicken or 1 piece of chicken? Because there's only 1 piece of chicken on that plate. So those are the kind of things that help. And it helps you to collaborate and work together with your back of house staff. Remember that you're all a team. If it's a buffet style, do you know the portion serving size? What spoon should you be using? Do you have the correct utensils? Be observant on food waste. It could be eating into your profits. Is there a lot of food going back, going into the bins? Perhaps then you need to look at your portion sizes and reducing those. if you have a new menu offering, you could consider that the service staff are given a taster. And that always helps, because then that person that is actually serving the customer, it's so much easier to talk about the dish. They know how hot the curry is, or what it tastes like, what is the flavors, and they'll remember that flavor once they've had a little taster. All right. Let's not moving. All right. Okay, and then the last part is ending with a sale, and that is the most important. So once you have all those other things in place, then you can end with a sale. So serve up to sell out. Sell by showing what you know. So this is also important. Know the specials of the day and promote it with enthusiasm. There's nothing worse than a boring waiter standing there rattling off the specials of the day. So be enthusiastic about it, upsell it, and tell them how delicious it tastes, and give them a little bit of a description, as we spoke about it earlier. Know what, if you are perhaps in an establishment where you see the customer coming back often, perhaps it's something like maybe a deli as an example, know the next day specials. Tempt the customer to come back. If a customer asks you what is good, what are you going to say? Be able to talk confidently about a few dishes. And know what you're going to talk about that day, because maybe your dishes are going to change every day depending on what the chef tells you to push. Tell customers about any dishes in your restaurant that are popular or you are known for, and that's known as your signature dish. What are they? Do you know what your signature dish is, or signature dishes are? You can recommend meals based on the weather or the season. So there as well, if it's summer and it's a beautiful hot summer day, perhaps you're going to offer suggest a lighter meal. Maybe it's a beautiful salad. If it's a cold and chilly day, perhaps it's going to be a soup as a starter, or it's going to be a nice warm curry because it's a cold day. Ask your chefs to share your good profit margin meals. And this is where often we forget to tell our front of house staff. What are the good profit margin meals that they should be speaking about and upselling? Know your menus inside and out, and that is key to being successful. So in terms of upselling, increase your average order value. So that's what you want to do. If a person comes on only wanting one dish, hopefully you're going to be able to upsell, or you're going to be able to cross-sell. So suggest the customer add something extra that goes well with what they've chosen, without being pushy and irritating, but you can do it in a nice way. Know your complementary dishes to upsell. Is it chips? Is it a side veg? Is it a sauce for the burger? Is it a beverage? Is it a starter, a side dish? Maybe it's a new dessert the chef has asked you to push. So it's upgrades and add-ons. And that is all about cross-selling. Perhaps they chose a beverage, or perhaps it's a coffee and you can upgrade them to a bigger coffee. So it's simple things like that, but they all push up your rand value of your sale at the end of the day. Be patient. Some customers take a long time to look at the menu. They may have questions, and this helps you to nurture the best relations with your customers. So there again, you can assist them with maybe a menu option if they are very undecided. Okay. Then just in summary, smile, it's easy. It's just in summary, the 5 points that we've just chatted about. Sorry, it's been a little bit disruptive. It's starting with me. I am your front of house service staff. I am your waiter, your waitress for the day. And it's about how you think, you act, you look when you come to work. It's first impressions. Make your customer smile. Make your customer feel important. Without your customer, you have no business. Inform your customers. So know everything about your menu, know what your specials are, know what the chef wants you to push out on that day. And make sure you're able to speak to your customers about those dishes. Look after your layout. Look after your plate. How does your plate look? How does your table look? Do you have all the right condiments, the cutlery? Does your plate look good that's going out? If it doesn't, don't be scared to go back and just check with the chef that everything is on that plate. Mistakes do happen, and they can quickly be corrected before you get an unhappy customer. And then end with a sale. They're a good opportunity to obviously increase your sales value, and then it increases your tip value as well if you're in a tipping environment. And smile. It just makes the world of difference. And I think just as a last closing is give feedback and praise to your customers, to your staff. Everyone likes to know they've done a good job for the day. So if they're doing a great job, give them lots of praise. That helps them and encourages them to sell more for your restaurant. Okay, so then just quickly on Ufs Academy. So I'm not sure if you all are aware of Ufs Academy. It's our online training courses. And we have some amazing courses there. You can download it on your smartphone, and it's completely free. There's a whole lot of courses on front of house service and guest service. So I showed you one video today, but there's about 4 different simple, very nice tutorials that you can take your staff through. You can test your knowledge, and it's also endorsed by SA Chefs Association. Once you have done the little quiz, it will then email you a certificate of completion, which is really great for upskilling your staff. Okay, so that's Ufs Academy. And then just on the other side, in terms of running a fair kitchen, so this is a global initiative. We started it with when we started COVID, and we found that a lot of chefs and hospitality staff were not in a good space in terms of mental health and wellness. So we have a toll-free line. It's completely free as well. If you do feel that you need to speak to somebody, we have a toll-free line. You can speak to a counselor. It's not one of the UFS chefs. It is a professional counselor. And to date, we've had at least 700 chefs and hospitality staff which have actually used the line, which is absolutely amazing. And we've been able to help them and just guide them. Sorry, we haven't. The counselors have been able to guide them through whatever their problem is. And it's okay not to be okay. Some days we don't have good days, and some days there may be a lot else going on behind the scene. But if you don't do something about it, it shows at work. It's going to show through to your customers. So it is important that you do look after your mental well-being and work together as a team and upskill your staff. Very, very important. Okay, so we're going to go over to if there's any questions. Does anybody have any questions? Kasturi, I don't know if you can see.
So, Chef Mary, doesn't look like we have any questions. Maybe you would like to start your poll.
Okay, great. All right. So then I have 3 questions on the poll. And how often, so my first question is, how often do you train your front of house staff? Is it daily, weekly, or monthly? If you could just tick whichever one is appropriate for you. Okay. Those of you that are on the line, if you wouldn't mind joining in with a poll, how often do you train your front of house staff? Is it daily, weekly, or monthly? Okay. It doesn't look like we've got any participants today, but anyway, something to think about. And I hope that it is rather often. Oh, okay, fantastic. Okay, so we do have some answers there. So most are saying monthly. Okay, so but I do feel very strongly that some things need to be done daily, others need to be weekly, and then yes, of course, monthly, so that it's an ongoing process. And everybody knows you're all working together as a team, and everybody understands what is required of them. Okay, and then thank you for that answer. Have you used Ufs Academy to upskill your hospitality staff? Yes or no? Have you used Ufs Academy to upskill your hospitality staff? Oh, great. Okay, we've got some yeses. So that's fantastic. There are some really awesome courses and such a variety of courses. There's over 500 courses on Ufs Academy, completely free. So do sign up. It's really worth it and very helpful for your staff. Okay, and then the last question, did you find the training helpful? Yes or no? And I will apologize in advance for the interruption and the technical glitch that we had in the beginning. But I hope that you did find this module helpful. And perhaps there were some pointers there that you can relook at your business and rethink maybe on some of them about what training is required to upskill your front of house staff and upsell for profits. We know that business is really difficult and really challenging these days. We've got all sorts of oil costs and price increases. So, if you can offer a good service to your customer, that is going to be one less thing that you need to worry about. Okay, 100%. Okay, so thank you very much for that information. All right. So let's just go back to, it doesn't really matter actually. Okay, so I'm going to be closing off now. And what I would like to say is thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being patient and thank you for dialing in. Please join our webinars on a weekly basis. We have a variety of topics. We've got 6 chefs in the business and they all cover different topics. So, one week could be something that they cook or one of our products, and other week could be a interesting topic. So there's lots of interesting topics coming up. So yeah, please join us and look out for the invites coming up. And keep upskilling your staff and training your staff, most important. Otherwise, thank you, everybody. Bye, and have a wonderful day today. Thank you.